welcome to another episode of Playing Telephone. I'm Scarlett Sanchez.
I'm Dennis Kluba.
How are we feeling today? Right off Memorial Day. Oh,
How
horrendous.
Do you feel?
Yeah, you had some friends come visiting, and I was in New York. I just landed an
You're
hour
more
ago.
like you're more like in jet lag mode though, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to like I'm in just down bad mode. Just today.
Down bad hungover though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm up. Like I'm on the up. But.
Yeah, I didn't think you really get jet lag from New York, but I'm feeling it.
Yeah. The good part though is that you didn't do it the way there is it's like you lose 10 hours of your life.
Right.
Because it's, the East Coast time change. Mm-hmm. But coming back, it's almost a little bit nice because you're like, oh, it's still 6 p.m. While I'm recording right now. But
a little bit earlier.
The worst is, like you said, you take that red eye overnight to New York.
Those are too painful. Those are painful. But at least if you sleep on the plane, you can kind of save yourself.
Yeah. But who sleeps on the plane well?
I actually slept so well on the way back.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Yeah,
but I also had to stop, so that breaks up the REM cycles.
For all you sleep nuts out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got all your traumas out in New York, and then you finally were at peace on the way back to home.
Yeah. I saw my friend's play, Jess's. It's called The Fears. If you're out in New York, go see it. It was really good.
Yeah. I guess let's get back into some of my fears. Tom Sandoval. He was seen over the weekend traveling. Yeah,
because he's going all over the place for his shows. Obviously, with everything that's been going on, people thought that he wasn't going to sell out places, which I don't know why, because when there's a scandal, I feel like a lot of people kind of flock to it. Yeah. They want to see him. They want to see who might be at the concert.
How he's doing,
yeah. We know he's 50 days sober now.
Real? Okay.
Okay, claps for Tom.
Wow. I can't say the same.
Yeah, and he was doing a show in Pittsburgh, but then there were some photos that a fan got on his travel, there.
Yeah.
And they took a screenshot, and then if you zoom in, you can see Raquel's name is...
He's taking a call with her.
Yeah, he's taking a call. He's talking on the phone with Raquel.
First off, he wasn't flying private, obviously, but he was in the first class. I was kind of like, okay, Tom.
Yeah.
Number two,
he's quite private yet.
No. I don't think he ever will be. But I'm just saying, how you see some celebrities that are like down bad, like that are like in regular scene. Mm-hmm. You're like, tough,
They could just be modest.
Yeah, like you and me, we don't fly first class every time, but whatever.
I was talking about one time when I flew with Evan Peters.
Yeah, you love that story.
Never letting that one down.
God damn. But then also I thought it was good on and this is, who knows if this is true or not, the person taking the photo felt like they didn't have an intention of catching him in the act calling Raquel. It was more like a very innocent, that's Tom Sandoval.
Yeah.
And like then it happened later of, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Then we got more of the zoom in photo and it's like, oh, look at that. Why did they change their little code names? Remember they used to have code names in their phone? They should have just kept them.
Once
so that way you don't get caught.
Though.
I guess. Yeah, he's like, I'm not cheating anymore. Just cheat on the Austin girl now. No, just kidding.
Seriously.
But
she's,
Raquel is supposed to be in that mental health facility. So I'm assuming this means she's out because they said that all of her phone calls would be limited there or if she'd have any in general. Yeah. So now people are saying she's out. And also this brings questions of there's apparently have broken up. So are they back together or are they just... checking up on a friend.
Yeah.
Or having fun.
I think all the above are possible outcomes.
Yeah.
I think, too, it's like when this kind of thing is happening, it almost reminds me of two con artists that are trying to get their story straight every day. It's like, so what are we saying this week? Or like, are we not together? Are we together? Like, what's our game plan? Mm-hmm. And I almost feel like in a lot of ways, I don't think it happens anymore, or it happened beginning. But we were saying with Ariana, you're telling me there were no conversations between Tom and Ariana, maybe not Raquel, but like how this was going to unfold.
Well, they said in some of their interviews in part one of the finale about how they did always want to protect each other through things. And they almost felt like they were putting up a facade because they didn't feel like their relationship problems were really being shown on the show that last season. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to start being more open. And then, obviously this all came out. Yeah. They became very open.
You watched the first part of the reunion. I have yet to, but I saw a lot of clips. Mm-hmm. What did you think about it? Because that happened after our last
Yeah, it did. I wouldn't say that we got as many bombshells as I was expecting, but I think it's because we kind of were getting a lot of teasers for this one. And I think more will come for part 2 and part 3 because
They want to build.
Yeah, exactly. So there's some things that we already knew. But Raquel was in a trailer because obviously at that time of recording, she had a restraining order against Sheena. So she was watching from the trailer, which some fans were kind of mad about that because they're like, now she's watching it and she gets to know, okay, Tom said that. Okay, now I know when I get out there that I need to make sure, kind of what you're talking about, like our stories need to align, they need to match.
Well, she was on the same timeline though.
I think her and Tom were the thing that came out during the
Schwartz
was Schwartz and him, because Schwartz said that Sandoval told him in August, and then Sandoval was like, wait, what? I didn't say August. It was more January. So their timelines were definitely
Messy.
off. Yeah. But the way he explained it was that they had that one night stand in August, and then it didn't really turn into anything until January is when he was really starting to have feelings.
Basically, the biggest part that I was annoyed at just from watching clips.
Oh gosh.
Because all the things that you're saying had validity. I felt like them were things that are prominent to the actual like this unfolding. Right. It was more that all I was seeing all over my feed was James and Lala.
Yeah.
And I just think that both of them just don't have any room to like be like that outwardly pissed off about it. If Ariana's not like going off, and she was,
I think.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, like who are you? Like who still is James Kennedy?
James Kennedy's the lead man now. That's all of the red carpet photos. How does it feel to be the lead man, James? Feels great. I think I've always been that. Your favorite. But yeah, that was a big thing in the episode too, because James like got up on his feet and wanted to fight Sandoval out there.
Which
Andy Cohen had to get involved, Lisa Vanderpump had to get involved and kind of break them up.
Would have been the biggest joke of a fight. And also, why does he feel the need to defend Ariana in that?
Because Raquel, he's more hurt as a friend. Like, you double crossed me. Like, why were you always so involved with me and Raquel's relationship? You paid for half of our engagement.
How long ago was that?
You were probably like 2 years.
2 years ago.
It wasn't that long. Maybe 3.
I'm just so interested and surprised that for all of these relationships, I don't feel like all of them are that real.
Yeah.
That it warrants the response that people are trying to give.
Yeah.
That's where it was like to James Kennedy, I was like, this feels fake, and this feels like you're trying to make yourself a character in this. It's almost like when the villain on like The Bachelor, Bachelorette, like somebody like is trying to be the villain that isn't, or not the villain, but like a big person, and be like, oh,
almost like he wanted more attention from
more screen time, more attention,
right.
And it's like, sorry, huh?
He's always been kind of the one who's out of pocket though. So I feel like it was on brand that he's like wanting to start a physical fight a little bit. And I can see him though. It is reality TV at the end of the day though. Yeah. So he's like probably feeding into like, okay, this is my moment. I'm obviously hurt by the Raquel thing. I think he was hurt though. I think he considered Sandoval like a close friend of his, but like
dumb.
At what level? Obviously Schwartz and Sandoval are like the two ride or dies at the end of the day.
Yeah, because they're like 15 years older.
But what you're saying, Ariana even said like you were like a brother to him, and Sandoval was like, maybe to him, like not to me. Like, we were not brothers.
I'm your best friend.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
But his apology in public was so...
Oh, and he started trying to cry?
Yeah.
Or whatever?
Yeah, it started to try to cry. But then also, she's like, I'm really sorry that I hurt you. And she just rolls her eyes. And then they do cut to James and Lala. And he's like, I'm not believing any of this. She's like, I wasn't even listening. So, yeah. And of course, she calls Sandoval a huge narcissist. Yeah.
These are all known facts, and...
They're all cheaters, though, too.
Yeah, we've been saying this. It's like they're all kind of caught right now. The scandal's awesome. The scandal's great.
I'm loving it.
The reality TV, like even the last episode they did the refilming, great. Love it. Now is when it's kind of frustrating, because I feel like when there were smaller things that were happening in like the first couple seasons, like Jax and Stassi and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of their shit, and we said this before about Jax, is like that felt more like a little bit dialed back of like, hey, like I am really sorry that I cheat on you, and like, or like people getting the right amount of mad. Yeah. This feels like people are trying to go so over the top to remain relevant that it's like, just be the normal mad, you know, that I would believe it more.
Yeah. I hear you on that.
It feels faker because of like what they're trying to do.
And I think because they're calling it like the biggest scandal of the show, they almost feel like they have to turn it up 10 volumes. Yeah. Lisa Vanderpump, though, one last thing about this reunion, so annoying. Like, she was fully defending Tom the entire time. He doesn't have a bad bone in his body whatsoever. Ariana even kind of hinted like how she felt about her continuing business with the two Toms, and she said our relationship won't be the same. And Lisa was like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to stop my business with these two guys? I don't know if I can do that. And Ariana's like, no, I'm not asking you to do that, and you shouldn't have to do that. I'm never going to be a person that gives you, Lisa Vanderpump, advice on your businesses, but I will have to tread lightly with our relationship now. But then that I didn't really agree with, because Lisa's like, I've been there for you as well. I've been there for both of you. It's just the fact that she's not happy that she's also being equally there for Sandoval.
Well, this is the same thing that we've said many times before, when it's like Lisa has been this role in the middle of all this shit forever, that it's also like the same thing of Tom has been around since the very beginning.
She loves Tom.
And maybe, what he did was wrong, which we're all in agreement with. But also, it's kind of like her kid.
Yeah.
That it's like, hey, here's the deal.
100%.
Like, what he did, terrible. And like she said, the relationship will be different to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not going to, like, send somebody to hell.
For cheating.
It's like, what are you going to, at the end of the day?
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I also think she was more privy to some details too, but there's been some clips that when he said, oh, I'm going to help James propose to Raquel, and Lisa goes, you're proposing to Raquel?
Lisa said that.
Yeah, in an old episode. I thought that was interesting. Why would she think that? Have they been having this affair for longer? I'm still convinced it's been going on for way longer. So
I don't know. Yeah, I think that people do confide in Lisa a lot more than maybe we even see.
Yeah, they do.
It was always so funny when people would like go to her house after like a scandal happens and they're like, I just don't know. And it's like, where are your parents?
Yeah.
You know, or like, who's like a real person that you can talk to? Where's your therapist?
She's also very involved in all the relationships and their weddings too. Like,
To a
she was
weird degree.
She was the, what do you call it? The person that does the vows for the person.
The orator or like the minister?
She ordained,
Yeah.
She ordained
minister.
Katie Maloney and Tom Schwartz's wedding.
Well, because that wedding cost $160. Don't you remember? Why does nobody have any money for any of these things?
Now they do.
Well, it was only 2 years ago that James and
Still
Raquel
flying
had
coach.
no money.
Still flying coach.
Yeah, well, first class, coach.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, though, basically, with this second installment of this reunion. And then also and then we're back to the real world. Are Tom and Raquel still talking now?
Yeah, it seems like they are. They're definitely still friendly, which means they're probably going to start hooking up when she's actually out of this facility.
That's always my like plan is like after they get out of the mental health facility, like then we can start the relationship back up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Although there was one fan at the Pittsburgh show that had a Team Ariana sign, and he had her escorted out by security.
Yeah, I think that's a little rude, but
That's a little much.
also let's just put it in what the regards that it is. That girl paid tickets to go to a show of what's their stupid band name?
The Most Extras.
Yeah, the
Tom
most
Sandoval and the Most Extras.
Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras to hold up a sign for some like that person's ex.
She probably paid just to do that, though.
Exactly. That it's kind of like, okay, get your own. Like, that's always the dumbest thing to me. Okay, whatever. We'll move on from that. We need to, and that's the thing that sucks is when these release, the reunion part happens like the next day.
I know.
So it's like 5 days later, but
It's okay.
we've been doing this for too long to change it up now. And actually, romance that is moving forward and isn't in question. Well, it was for a second, not in a bad way, but maybe escalating.
Yeah.
Was Austin Butler and Kaia Gerber.
Yes, there was a lot of engagement rumors around them. There was, I guess, a post from Demois that said they were definitely engaged, tying the knot. They've been dating for about a year and a half now. After he got out of his long relationship with Vanessa Hudgens for like 9 or 10 years, and then she was previously dating Jacob Elordi, and then had a fling with Pete Davidson too. But yeah, everyone was like thinking they were engaged. It was all over the internet, but those have been squashed. They're apparently not engaged, but that could still be up for question.
Yeah, I believe that. First thing is, I almost spit up my water there when you said we're like, in this world, it's like, and it kind of makes me think too, when we get to the Taylor Swift topic later, of like you said, they've been dating for a year and a half. And like in a lot of these instances, like that's a long time that like people could believe that they would get engaged.
Yeah.
Versus like, you know, it's so funny in this world, the celebrity world, that's a long time. I don't think I'd get engaged.
I don't
Depends
think
how old
I don't
I
think
am.
that's a long time. Yeah, I think it depends on your age.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I think maybe if you're in your 30s or 40s or whatever,
If
you
you're a
can.
21-year-old,
Yeah, if you're 21, it's just like the best time.
yeah, to get engaged.
How long did your parents date before they got married?
I mean,
know?
through college, like I think 2 years, and then I think maybe like the year after college, maybe like 3 years total.
Okay.
Different time though as well.
Yeah. Well, my parents dated for 5 years.
Yeah, so that's a good
yeah,
amount of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, 21. When I didn't get engaged when I was 21, I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait until later.
You broke that one off.
Yeah. And then does Austin Butler in some ways feel a little bit ageless? When I was like,
It's because he was Elvis.
yeah. But like I really, for some reason, don't give their age gap as much hate, and this is a bias, I don't know why, I'm trying to explore
Okay.
it,
Yeah.
as much hate as I give other ones, I feel like.
Because he looks super young, you think?
I feel like he doesn't look like a bad 31.
Okay.
He looks like I don't
How
know,
old
like
is
a
she?
young, she's 21.
It's 21 and 31?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No, I'm saying like, I wanted the wheels to be like, because that's what I'm saying. The 10 year,
21.
we usually give 10-year age gaps a lot of stick, and this one it's kind of like I've just let it slide a little
She's
bit.
only 21? That's wild.
When your mom's Sidney Crawford,
Yeah. Well, that was also
Yeah.
a hint. They went out to dinner with Cindy Crawford and Randy Gerber, her parents.
Mm-hmm.
So they were thinking like, oh, maybe he asked for her hand, or they were doing a celebratory engagement dinner. But no, I mean, that's pretty common thing to go out with your future in-laws or your girlfriend's parents
when you're in town,
at any point
Yeah,
in
yeah.
time in the relationship.
exactly. Also, everybody does an engagement dinner differently, or a celebratory differently. But him in his classic like worker's jacket and like worker's hat, it's like usually if you're doing an engagement dinner, you're kind of like, hey babe, maybe
Yeah.
put on like a suit coat, or if it happened and you're like celebrating,
right.
it's like maybe something,
Dress it up a little bit more.
exactly. Even though that's his thing, kind of, it's like
yeah.
maybe something tonight.
But now they've been covered all over, like going on walks, walking their dog, because everyone's like, they can't keep their hands on each other and they must be engaged. Or they're dating.
Or it's summer and it's nice outside.
So, but I can still see their reps being like, no, they're not engaged because they're not ready to announce it maybe. Or maybe they're just on their way to engagement. Or maybe they are just in a good place in their relationship.
Yeah. Well,
We'll
that's
have to
the
see.
thing that we talked about before we got on air was the whole thing with, I mean, shit. Like I said, Vanessa Ann Hutchins is already, she's engaged
yeah.
to the Pittsburgh
Tucker,
Pirates. Yeah, Cole Tucker. And it's like just the fact that them being together for so long, and then within, 2 years of 2 or 3 years of that thing ending, just to have engagement rumors around, or for her to be engaged, that is a wild turnaround. 10 years. We're both feeling it. We're just caught up. It's so emotional.
I can't breathe. No, I just think that happens. I think they maybe just realized they weren't going to spend the rest of their lives together, so they broke up.
And then it was like,
and then
next.
maybe one of them was ready though, and
That's
then
true.
the other person ended up being ready, not that far behind.
well, that's the like.
I feel like that kind of happens a lot, honestly. Like you end things with a really long relationship, and then both you meet the people that you're maybe supposed to
to be with.
potentially end up with.
Okay. Also, what about the theory? A cruel theory that it's like, I don't know if it's guys or girls or if it's both, but it's like basically the one person, like they're only gonna like find the one when they're ready. So it's not so much that it's that person. It's like, oh well, now I'm ready because I'm old enough.
Yeah, or
Or like
just
whatever,
being ready
maturity,
in general.
or like
Yeah.
It's like even if you're dating somebody for 4 years, 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, I hit 31 or whatever. Now it's time for me to find a partner.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like you can still be with that person for such a long time, but then it's just I wasn't mentally there.
Yeah. And Kaia Gerber with the 21-year-old situation, that's just every girl on The Bachelorette that's like, I just haven't found the one yet.
Always like 21, 22. Gosh, when is love going to happen for me?
I am a sales associate in senior year of college and I haven't found the one yet.
Duh.
Yeah, it's like on the floor of Dillard's.
It's going to be okay.
So
Wait till you're 31 like Austin.
seriously,
It'll come.
They're not engaged yet, but that's why I think with the age gap, it made more sense when they were with their oppos too.
yeah.
Also, because wasn't it Kaia Gerber with Jacob Elordi, who's like young. He's like 23 or 24.
Yeah.
So that one like
Made more
it made
sense.
more sense. So when they kind of like swapped, or him and Austin Butler was like, I thought that he was very young.
Yeah.
But he's not
Love has
really.
no age.
Yes. Love is timeless. Love is ageless. Well,
To a certain extent.
yeah.
Let's not
You know
get-
what I mean?
Let's not get crazy.
Yeah. More
Another-
love.
Yes. Oh, I love love.
I love love.
I love love so much.
You should take this story because this is your favorite person.
Okay, there's been some new happenings with the new couple. Hailee Steinfeld, actress, Hawkeye, also singer, and then Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been seen out also on walks. It must just be a walking kind of coupley thing to do.
What is our favorite saying? They're hanging out, or
They're having fun together.
having fun together.
They're having fun. Yeah. So they were seen out in New York. They also seemed to go on a sushi dinner date, also in New York. So it looks like they're dating. And a source confirmed they've been talking for a few weeks now.
I think we should definitely do like a little TikTok or reel series of
Couples that are having fun.
No, yeah, it's like that, but it's also like in your own dating life, anytime you're like seen out with anybody, just having fun. Don't worry about it. Sources say they're just having fun. They went on a walk. Don't worry about it.
There has to be a dog though.
Seriously, or coffee, or sushi.
Or sushi.
Yeah. Basically, the reason that I was like, we got to talk about this is Josh Allen's like a big star within the NFL.
Right.
And the back subplot is that he had been with his girlfriend since 2017, Brittany Williams, who was from like his hometown.
Yeah, they've known each other since they were kids.
Yeah, so when they broke up earlier, like in 2023, there was kind of like, and it was a classic.
It was quiet.
Yeah, it was quiet. And this happens where the reason that everybody picked up on it was just Instagram pictures taken down, unfollowed each other.
And you were wondering if there was maybe some overlap?
Not even with Hailee.
Oh, okay.
But just maybe a one-off night of cheating. Those were kind of the early rumors.
There was a rumor, right?
Yeah, that there was a one-off, somebody at a bar, had snapped a picture of him with somebody. Ooh. But that's one of those things where it's like, at that time, he like that he's not with that person anymore. And now he's apparently on having fun with Hailee Steinfeld. But I think people were pretty shook up, like that were Buffalo fans, because I think they're from maybe that area, that it was like, I mean, just like, I feel like that's like a big high school sweetheart area of like, like that was a great story within the NFL.
Yeah. And they weren't married.
No.
But they'd been together for a long time.
Another 6 year. What is it?
That's like the breaking point. I thought it was always 3, and then maybe it's like 6 or 7 probably.
Yeah, but even those two we just talked about, Austin Butler, Vanessa Hutchinson, then the other two, that's a long time.
That is a long time.
2017 to, I know the other one too. Don't get me started. But basically we're going to see what happens. I think that
they're definitely dating.
You're hard launching them.
I'm hard launch, yeah.
And for
hard launch for Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes too.
As well. And for backstory, because apparently Scarlett doesn't know anything about Hailee Steinfeld. Actually, she's like, just under a rock. She had previously dated Niall.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny because that
was a minute ago though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 2018.
Yesterday.
2018.
Oh, okay.
It was a minute ago, but that was kind of the last A-list person I feel like she was like dating. Mm-hmm. But then he's like definitely continued. Mm-hmm. Now he's on The Voice, like has had multiple albums since then.
Yeah.
Versus like you were saying, her like kind of coming back dating Josh Allen is like, whoa, where have you been? Like, what are you up to?
Yeah.
Like
I like her song Starving.
From that same time, like 2017 or whatever. Yeah.
But she did just drop a new single.
Okay.
I saw.
Okay. But that's where it's
Haven't
like,
listened.
Oh my gosh, this person's back.
Yeah.
And with like a big star.
Yeah. Because I was just feeling like, okay, we always pay attention to maybe people who haven't been dropping that much music or haven't been in a new thing. And it's like, oh, the second they start dating someone, they're interesting again, which kind of sucks, I think. Like you shouldn't need to be dating someone for your stuff to be relevant. For clout.
Yeah. Because in the history of the world, nobody's ever dated anybody for clout before.
At Bad Bunny.
Yeah, anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah, literally.
Which is the most recent.
Yeah.
In my head.
Seriously. Also, that outfit was horrendous.
Oh, yeah.
You need to talk to your mans.
Okay. Well, he also was doing a nod again to Kendall, though. Like,
Because
all
he
of
was
their
wearing,
stuff
like,
kind of
her type.
matches. Yeah.
Yeah, but on him, it looked like he was wearing a thong.
It did look like a thong. Where was that at?
They wore, like, the same exact outfit. Oh,
Yeah.
my God. So cringe. Oh, man.
Yeah, you sent that to me.
You're
You were
like,
not a fan.
This is your man?
I wasn't okay with that either.
Scott's going on record like, I didn't pick that out. I didn't say that any of this was okay. He doesn't confer with me anymore. We're estranged.
Well, thanks to Kendall.
Yeah, she's in the way. Did she not know that? But let's move on to another 6-year relationship. Basically, over the past week and then weekend as well, like we've been talking about Maddie Healy and Taylor Swift. He had come to a couple different shows on her tour in Nashville. And then they had met up outside of that studio when she had some off time in New York. And we're kind of like, okay, sources say, having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I saw a new source say that, and this is a real, an actual source say that it's not platonic or whatever.
Okay, so they're dating.
So there's,
confirmed.
It's having fun, but it's not with a...
No labels.
Yeah, no label, but it's not like, oh, this person's just a friend.
Right.
Which I feel like if you're saying having fun,
Well, they were seen kissing and holding hands, so it's definitely a little bit of some fling action.
There's something going on.
Yeah.
Either way, over the weekend, 1975, we're doing, a big festival in Scotland called the Dundee Festival. And then Taylor, like 5 days before, was doing her shows in New York and New Jersey. But both had some interesting sound bites that neither one of them confirmed anything.
Yeah.
But I just thought that they were interesting in lieu of...
Are they together or not?
Yeah, that. And then this timeline that we're not really sure of her and Joe.
Mm-hmm. Not
Not that there was any cheating or on Taylor's part.
Yeah.
But just her feelings. So basically, Maddie Healy has said before they went on, is it all a bit? Something, is he going to address it? Mm-hmm. All that will be ignored. This is the 1975, and then they started, their show.
Yeah, and essentially he was alluding to the fact that are him and Taylor a bit, is it all facade for PR and everything, but for the rest of the show, we'll just focus on the music.
Yeah, which I thought was really cool, but also was making me double doubt myself because I'm like, I think we are always being a little bit, what do you call that? Like dealing with the irony of like, oh, they're PRing this for themselves. Mm-hmm. But I almost felt in that instance, he was like,
he's messing with us.
Yeah. That I was like, when somebody says, is it all a bit? It's like, yeah, is it? Because we're thinking, oh, we're catching them in the act that this is not real.
Right.
And then he's like saying, I don't know, is it? It's like, oh,
but that's totally him, though.
His vibe.
Like, that is him making us want to think. Like, second guess yourself a little bit.
It's smart.
It is smart.
Yeah.
And I think it is, again, calculated. And it's him not answering anything for the hour. He totally answered it so much just in that intro.
Uh-huh. Well,
not
more
answered
curious.
it, but yeah, it brought more curiosity. It was more PR to it.
The hook.
So yeah, he's hooking us still, making us wonder if they're together or not.
Yeah,
and
smart.
like you were saying, she was in...
I think it was the New Jersey show.
She was in New York and New Jersey this weekend. So wherever
Okay.
she was the weekend before, she was talking about how this is the happiest she's been in her entire life, which brings a lot of questions for Dennis. How can you be the happiest you are after your 6-year relationship, right? And
I was like, well, my whole thing is when we look at another timeline situation, didn't that Austin Butler stuff come out while she was already on tour?
Austin Butler?
Sorry. Joe Alwyn.
Okay.
They look a little bit similar.
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Joe Alwyn in like January, February, right?
It was all during eras, yeah.
Yeah, so she was
just
already
like a couple
touring.
months ago.
Yeah, like a couple months ago. And we have talked about this on the show many times on, okay, when did the fallout actually happen? Mm-hmm. Who knows?
Yeah,
Was there
because we
cheating?
don't know when Joe and Taylor officially broke up.
Split, yeah.
And a lot of it, they even mentioned, was some of that was for PR that maybe Joe had to sign off on, that they were going to keep it under wraps until her tour kicked off.
The
So it was in the
NDAs.
beginning of her tour.
We need to sign the NDAs and all this stuff.
Yeah, which she's probably used to. 6 years Taylor Swift.
My thought process is those two spending a lot of time together, and they talked about this and what led to their breakup. They were kind of in that bubble during the pandemic.
Yeah.
But also, she wrote with him 2 amazing albums. Not that he was like the main other writer with her.
How much was he in that?
I mean, he wrote with her 4 or 5 songs over the 2 albums. And then she's performing during this Eras tour, and so many of her songs are about so many past relationships.
Right.
And I would say this one being ended recently and tenfold longer than a lot of her, like most of her stuff that's like a year maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like, how I couldn't believe that there haven't been more things on the tour of like almost moments of, when you see people like get choked up during singing certain songs. I was just like, I'm interested that she's not feeling some kind of emotions, even if she's moving on or having fun with Maddie Healy or whatever.
We have seen her cry at a few of the songs, but also I think when you go on stage, it is performative in a way. I think some artists let their emotions come out, but I think Taylor's always been the type where she's ready, she's going to perform, and maybe she kind of keeps those from coming out, unless, though, she wants them to. She's a performer. I almost want to throw actress in there because I think she puts it all together as a full act. Like,
it's a thought.
Were those tears even really real when she was crying on that song about Joe? I think she, like, brings it out of her.
Yeah. And we've also said before that she has a good ability to, like, go back and recall memories, feelings from different experiences. I would just think that especially on this Eras tour where she's doing so many different, like eras. That I would be surprised that during that, that where she was writing Evermore and Folklore, it wasn't like, okay, this is kind of recent. This is, hardcore. But instead, she was like right before she was singing Questions from Midnight. That's when she said, I feel like great, like I'm doing what, for the first time in a while, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And she could honestly just be referring to being back on stage, being in front of people.
That's honestly how I took it, and I think it was spun a lot too. Oh, because she's dating Maddie Healy. Sorry, no. You don't get enough credit for that.
I don't think yet.
I don't think so.
No, but that's just like, it was interesting to me that, I don't know, both
those
of them,
two kind of like went together on those 2 different weekends. Yeah, they both are mentioning it, and we're both still talking about it. And then she also dropped her new song, You're Losing Me, on Friday. She performed it at her Jersey show, which obviously is about Joe. She talks about how I wouldn't want to get married to me too either. I'm a pathological people pleaser. So she's kind of like bringing negatives about herself, and a lot of fans are like wondering if she's the one who actually wanted to get married and Joe was the one who didn't. And obviously there's like some, and she always does nods to her song. So she like tied in Cornelia Street. She's kind of answering herself. There's like the piano and the heartbeat, both in the new song, You're Losing Me, and a Cornelia Street. And then also talking about marriage and lover with the paper rings. It seems like she wanted to get married at that point in their relationship. And now it moved where she wasn't feeling noticed. And then maybe she still wanted to get married, but then they didn't.
Yeah. Sidebar. I didn't listen to those over the weekend because I was having a great time. Now I'm super hungover, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll listen to these for a second. Immediately hit it, realized it was sad. Just threw my computer. I was like, not the time, not in the right headspace for this.
I feel like whenever you're hungover, or not just you, just people in general, it's like you get a little bit sadder.
Extra emotional. You're like, oh my God.
I can't. The anxiety is already bad enough. Don't add Taylor to the mix.
Oh, new songs from Taylor? This could be fun. No.
Because at first I was going to ask, like, you weren't blasting Taylor Swift while you were having fun all weekend. But yeah, these were some sad moments.
Also, in new news, too, the past weekend when it was Cannes Film Festival, Joe Alwyn stepped out at a party for the first time since forever. Well, I mean, we didn't know what happened to him after, like, we hadn't seen him at all.
Yeah. We just seen him that one point where it looked like he was leaving someone else's house, but then could have been anything.
Got sorted. Well, and those cryptic photos of, like, oh, this girl.
Oh, yeah.
Potential.
Are they dating?
But he was in at an after party for Cannes, and I'm sure with other, actors, actresses, there. And so he looked fine.
Good.
There was no signs that...
Again, when did this breakup happen?
That's what I'm saying.
But also, is he going to show up to a party all disheveled?
No.
In
but
Italy?
Also, we saw that one picture. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you, and I was like... He did not look like he was disheveled there.
You're talking about the photos that I was just...
I was like...
He came out of an apartment building, his shirt, his
hadn't
hair's
shaved,
all messed up. It was like right when we found out. The photos were just so perfect. Like, you look like shit, Joe. You're really sad. Yeah. It's okay. You'll get through the breakup.
He was like in a suit, like, had a sweet shirt on. It's like, Okay, he's got it together a little bit.
Yeah.
So
He's having the best time of his life too.
if anybody wants to interview him, he's doing great.
Yeah.
It's a classic when it's like, no, I'm doing so good. Can't you tell? Eyes are so watery. Like
One
red.
tear. Yeah.
I'm doing great.
Yeah. Well, we've also been talking about eras, but then another huge tour that's going on is Renaissance with Beyonce.
Yeah.
She's been having a ton of shows. The Paris one really stuck out because, I don't know, everyone seemed to be at this one. Kris Jenner, Kylie Jenner, obviously, Jay-Z, obviously, Corey Gamble, Natalie Portman, but a ton of other stars were there.
Where were we? Why
Wait.
weren't we?
Is you every...
Weird.
Weird. She go to Paris. Go
Nobody-
see Beyonce.
Just for a night, though. I
Just
don't
for
really
a
want to.
night. I gotta be back by tomorrow.
I got work.
Okay. But Blue Ivy came out on stage. I assume she's been coming out all the time, though, right? I don't know why this particular show has been going viral, though, with her dancing, but it's been all over my feed and everything.
I think we were just seeing her. The only times that I had seen also was like the last time that she did a kind of duet in Dubai, which was controversial.
Yeah.
And then I guess before, in like a kind of one-off performance that she did in Compton, California for a charity event or something, I think.
No, she's like done things with Beyonce, but I was just wondering if
You
this
thought
is
this whole
part
tour-
of. I was just wondering if like she always comes out for this part. Well, I obviously haven't gone to the Renaissance tour, so I'm not
we don't
sure if
know.
she's there every single time.
I feel like it must not have been that this is making so much noise.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I took it as well. If you've been, let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she came out. The part that was sick is like she starts talking about like this is my bloodline, and then Blue Ivy comes out. I rewatched that a million times.
You
not
love
gonna lie.
Beyonce.
Beyonce's great. Yeah.
Yeah, she's an icon for sure.
Yeah. And Blue Ivy coming out. Come on.
I'm just like,
That's
yeah.
Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughter. You're a hater about it. Go on. Let's hear it.
I mean,
Let's hear it.
okay, kid's 11 years old. People are just praising her like, got her mom's choreography genes. You see the tapes, it's like,
I wouldn't say she's the best dancer. She's 11.
yes, yeah, I'm like dissing an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, nice chops, kid. You can take your spot anytime.
He literally said, I was dancing like that all weekend.
Yeah, like I had that.
I mean, yeah. But she did keep up with the steps. That's good. And she's 11. I'm going to keep saying that.
Yeah, I mean, yes, in hindsight, give her some credit.
Also, being in front of a huge crowd like that can be probably nerve-wracking, I would think, with no... I mean, yeah. No? You don't think so?
I think it's like, especially, I mean, I've never performed in front of that many people.
I have.
But I think it's like, it's almost when there's so many people, you can't see any of them. Mm-hmm. That it's almost like if you've been rehearsing, it's great because
Especially with her shades on. I mean...
exactly, block out the haters. But that's where it's like, it's almost worse when you're in front of people. It's like a 20 to 100 person show when you could look into somebody's eyes and they're like,
Yeah.
didn't hit that step.
Yeah.
That is way more intimidating if you ask me.
She had touched her ear a few times. I wonder if she... There's no way she had someone in her being like, left, right,
No, you couldn't
step
do
forward.
it like
That'd be
that.
too distracting, right?
No, she's just hearing, has to be hearing
Her
the music, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Like, am I hitting my steps?
Could you imagine?
She's just an NPC.
Shansay,
Yeah.
leap, and turn.
That's me all weekend in the club. I just have somebody
Twerk now. Booty
bend it
bump left.
over, make their knees touch your elbows. Okay.
But yeah, I thought that was a cool moment for mother-daughter. I think that's why I like it. Like the bloodline part was cool. Mama-daughter moment, cool. There was also a part just away from them off the stage. Selena Gomez was there as well, and she was yelling at security because fans were trying to talk to her and the security was like trying to block it. So she got a little bit upset about that. Go ahead.
I don't want to get any more hate than I already do from the Selena fan base.
It will come for you.
I know. I'm terrified.
I'm terrified.
There is some part of me that does not.
You're not
know.
buying her kindness act.
I'm just not buying like that. It's all love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just go so much off of, and I still think the producers, whoever did it for that doc, they did her so dirty.
Yeah.
But I was just like, whatever. And then this is kind of weird because she's like yelling at security. for her fans to talk to her, but like they're trying to do their job. That it's kind of like, hey,
Sometimes
yes,
that's hard.
but for this is a little bit for your own protection. Like we can't just have people over the stands
Like flocking to you.
Yeah, and like,
it is a danger. It is a hazard.
yeah, that's probably like people that were like
I
jumping
know
over.
they're just people, but like once a few people get over, it's a
Yeah, and you know that she was in a VIP section.
Yeah, yeah,
So
with
it's not
a
just
ton of
her.
other people.
It's like, hey, you think Kris Jenner's security is like, yeah, for sure. Let's do a meet and greet right now.
bring them out.
No.
Definitely
So
not.
it's a little bit like, who's in the right, who's not. I'm not fully sold,
It's okay.
etc. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not fully sold on Blue Ivy's dance moves. Like, I think she can continue to work hard.
Yeah.
Like, if
Keep
she was
working
on
on that.
if she was on Dance Moms, like, would she be at the top of the pyramid?
Oh, probably not.
I don't know.
Probably not.
And going 3 for 3.
That is true. Those are some youngins really great at dancing.
Yeah,
Maddie Ziegler.
The trauma, though,
Yeah.
that they had to
went
go
a
through.
lot. They went through a lot.
So I don't know. And then also Succession finale was this
Finale.
What was it?
It just happened on Sunday night.
Oh, it was Sunday night, HBO. I forgot.
Yeah. I haven't fully been watching the show, but I tuned into the finale, and obviously it's following Logan. Spoilers coming really quick.
Yeah.
But Logan died in the last season.
Logan Roy.
Yeah. So all of it was who's going to be the next heir, who's going to
is the
take it
whole
over.
theme of the
Which
show.
is the whole theme of the show, exactly. Which is why, like, when I missed a few episodes, I really wasn't.
Missing that much?
Yeah, I could catch up. It does make me want to go back though and rewatch it all the way through and catch every single detail now.
Don't say who took it over though.
Okay,
That's too
okay.
much of a spoiler.
Okay. So I won't completely spoil it. But
Yeah.
yeah, obviously like the people who wanted it though were all the kids.
And there is
Shiv, Roman and
there is a solution that comes about.
Yes.
Because that's like the whole thing is that it never.
The whole thing I was asking myself was where's the will? Where is the will?
Yeah,
Logan?
especially since he finally passed away.
Which just makes it seem like he didn't
Ever do
care.
one. Or yeah.
He didn't care.
That's a good
He
point.
was like, I got my own and you guys can fight over it, which is so messed up. Like if you have that much, you should be allocating it to who gets what.
Yeah, so much control though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you gotta put it in the right hands.
We're talking billions.
Yeah, I know. This is just Game of Thrones in modern day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a good finale. Maybe there's a twist. Maybe there's not. Whoever you wanted to win.
Who knows?
You'll have to go check that out.
Okay, with this ending as well, and we'll watch some the HBO. We don't really keep up with it weekly where we're like updating a ton, but with this one ending, Succession, the new Sunday show is going to be
Which one?
The Idol, which is the one that we talked about so much that it's
No
had so
one's
much
gonna watch
controversy.
that.
I am watching it for sure
It was voted the worst show ever.
by
Everyone.
everyone. Has it already started coming out?
Yeah, it just came out. Wait, did it?
No, I think the first episode's like
So this is
next
based
Sunday.
just all in reviews then?
Yeah,
like
because we've
pre-reviews?
listened to reviews
Yeah, well,
so
there's
much
also
before.
been a lot of like negative reports, obviously, about like torture,
On
rape.
set.
There's just a lot of bad negativity around the entire set. So yeah, we can definitely watch that and dissect it.
I'm just interested because so much of it has been coming out lately when I think they were at Cannes. That was their thing.
Yeah.
And the weekend, Sam Levinson, Lily Rose Depp are like, this is going to be the biggest show of the year. And they've been saying that.
Yeah.
The weekend has been trying to blow up the publicity based literally on all these negative reports that have come out. That's where it's almost like I want to watch one episode to be like, okay, is this actually terrible? Was that the reviews?
Yeah, we should watch it to come to the bottom of this.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the thing. It's like, we've said it before with Sam Levinson doing Euphoria.
That show was incredible.
So that's where it's like he has a good track record, and there were negative stuff at that time too, in season 2. But then
True.
all of the actors and actresses that were doing whatever types of scenes, right, nude scenes, sexually explicit scenes, they all felt safe and comfortable.
Okay, that's the important part. If that's actually true, then
It's like, yeah,
I'll give it a watch.
I think it was like people that were potentially on set felt uncomfortable. It's hard to watch.
Okay.
You've watched shows before where it's kind of like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's like some scenes where you're like,
Well,
this
I
is
hate
not.
a lot of those scenes.
That's what I'm saying. Don't you think that people were like, oh, it's like.
I think the issue with it was they were trying to bring awareness to it, and then they became the problem.
Yeah.
So if it's true that these actresses and everybody was actually safe and everything was
comfortable
and all of that was done properly, then it's a different story. And
as opposed to, like you said, mistreatment on a set and exploitation or whatever.
Right.
So that's where it's like, it is kind of juicy that I'm like, okay, I don't want to watch anything like too scary, especially things that are too real.
Yeah.
But then you're like, okay, we have to see if it's good.
But
you know, like
you have to though. I mean, sometimes you have to watch those kinds of shows.
The scary real ones.
Yeah.
The true crime ones.
All right, I think that just about wraps it up.
Yeah, we made it through.
Made it through. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram for clips, and then full episodes on YouTube. We'll be back next week.
Sure will.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.